Hey, folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we return to Mission Souls, a band that we've seen a couple of times in the past and have discovered them really via their fans and have realized they're a really excellent outfit. Another family band. This one actually also includes their mom and dad once in a while, but for the most part, it is Ice on drums, who is 10 years old in this clip, Stacy on rhythm guitar and vocals, who's age 12, Nisha on lead guitar, age 14, and Nasses on bass at age 15. A four-piece today. Their dad mixed it. The last thing that we looked at was a Deep Purple cover, Highway Star, and it was really fantastic, very impressive. And we'd like to see this band making progress. It looks like they've been at it for a little bit. We're looking at a clip of Whole Lotta Love today, the Led Zeppelin song that they did last August. So this is about 8 months old now. It'll be interesting to watch, to contrast it against what we just saw from the Deep Purple cover, which was just about a month ago. So looking forward to that. So Adrian, what were your thoughts last time we looked at Mission Souls?
Oh God, it was awesome. I mean, it's like they sounded so much like the original.
Yeah, they really killed it. They got all the little nuances and everything. And it turns out that their drummer, Ice, had just gotten his double bass pedal that day. So that was the very first time he was playing with double bass pedals. So I didn't realize that when we were watching it. That would have been definitely worth noting. And just saying that's very impressive to be able to do it that well, that quickly. All right, well, let's go ahead and watch them in action here.
You need cooling, baby, I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send you back to schooling. Way down inside, honey, you need it. I'm gonna give you my love.
Okay, Adrian, thoughts on that?
Wow, totally faithful to the original.
Yeah.
And I was wondering how they get their instruments to sound like that. And I think a lot of it is actually the way they play them.
Yep.
I mean, they also learned how to play them, like the original band.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. The guitars, too, I'm not sure how much of that is in the room and the amps that they have there, or how many are patches that you'll find in music software today. Like, I know if I go into Logic Pro, I can get all kinds of different amps from many different eras of time, and you can get a beautiful guitar sound ready to go, or, a little bit of tweaking. So I don't know, maybe it was some combination of that, but you also need to know to actually look for those. I mean, it's clear they did their homework, all of them. I'm sure their dad did too. It sounded like they'd all heard the original many, many times. It was kind of amusing, I'm not going to lie, hearing Stacy sing all the words that Robert Plant, back as a 20-year-old, and basically, I'm going to give you every inch of my love, and singing that stuff and all. Because that particular song it's straight out of the blues realm. That was a Willie Dixon song first. And I believe Howlin' Wolf did it too, probably with Willie in the band. I don't know. But so it goes back to that, like, oh, woman, I'm going to come get you, and all this. We're going to have a whole lot of love between us and all that. And so it's funny watching a 12-year-old girl sing it. But I get it. She did a great job. I'm not putting her down at all. It's just funny. That's all.
She not only hits the notes, but she's got the style down too.
Yeah. They really are good with capturing the nuances in these songs, that the original artists had. They really had the sound down. And yeah, they were playing it too. I mean, both guitar players were doing really cool things on their respective axes, and the bass too. Bass too was great. Of course, Ice back there was very, very solid. And he knew exactly what he was doing. They started getting a little bit into the spacey part, kept it real short, of course, to their credit. That's a tough thing to reenact, with any kind of credibility. But yeah, fantastic cover. Just makes me realize, I think we're onto something here. I appreciate those fans that alerted us to this band. There's a whole list of stuff we'd like to watch them do, so maybe every few days we'll come back to them for a little while until we get to know them a little better. And I'd like to know what they're up to as well. I mean, obviously they're still very young. It would be tricky to play in clubs. We did see them play somewhere live recently. The first thing we looked at actually was Deep Purple, that cover, live in a club. So it can be done, but I'm sure there are limitations. When your drummer's 11 years old, especially, it gets tricky. But still, it'd be interesting to know what they're up to, and if they have ever considered doing their own original songs, or if that's something they might still do in the future. If anybody has that info, please let us know. It'd just be interesting to know about. And I got a whole bunch of suggestions last time for where to go next with this band. But if you want to leave more, that's fine. We'll take a look. And I think we're just going to go on the ride for a little while. So stay tuned. I think we're going to have more soon. But in the meantime, this was really cool. Definitely they get an A, for the cover. Yeah, no question about it, really nicely done.
Yeah, it's amazing. That drummer, he's so tiny, but he's playing John Bonham stuff. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's a nice thing to see. Frankly, I'm just excited whenever any kids get into music and want to start picking up musical instruments and playing them. I mean, for me, that's enough. So this is really way over the top. I love it. This is the way to go. We look forward to watching their journey as they move forward. Okay, so with that, folks, why don't you let us know what you thought of this, and if it's the first time you've seen it, how familiar are you with this band? I mean, is there anybody else like it that you'd like us to check out? I like the concept of a family band that confounds your expectation when you watch them. Like you would not have expected such a great cover, I think, if you were just looking at them, because it's a bunch of kids, No, they did it. They did it all right. So, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. Don't forget we have a second channel now for interview reviews and reactions. I'm actually going to do a week of mostly Warning, I think, to catch up on all of the interviews over there. But certainly going to open that up a little bit. If Mission Souls has ever done an interview, you can let us know about it. Maybe I'll pick one up and put it on the other channel. Okay. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out now. It's a blast. All right. Thanks so much for joining us on this today, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right. Take care, folks.
See you all later. And that's fun.